favorite home improvement store. Everybody has a different store. It's either blue or orange. I'm not going to say which one it is. Right, Karen? It's so tough. But you can kind of see that there's a lot of blue.
I'll carry you to LA or those New York City streets. I'll show you off to the skyline, knowing that you'll feel at home. You'll be fine with my newfound city life. Do you feel betrayed? With my sun hat sitting next to your Stetson white.
So we start with a 1/2-inch galvanized floor flange, which looks like this. These only come, sadly, in this bright silver. Why? Okay, and then you can spray paint it if you want. Like you could spray paint it black or whatever other color. I just leave it like this, I don't care. A good thing to know about this pipe is that it has oil on it. So as you work with it, your hands are gonna turn black. I haven't washed this yet, but before you work with it, it's a really good idea to wash it with a brass or a steel brush and like laundry or a dish soap like Dawn, just to help get some of the oil off. And it'll just come off over time, whatever. Okay, now this is just my design. Like you can go crazy in the pipe aisle and come up with all kinds of designs, and I mean this, like the sky is the limit, but this is just how I did mine for the particular space I'm doing them. So here's what you need supply-wise. You need 1/2-inch by 6-inch pipe, a 1/2-inch by 12-inch pipe, 3 1/2-inch nipples, which look like this. And then you need I think this is called a reducing coupler. It's a 1/2 by 3/4 inch reducing coupler. You need 2 1/2-inch elbows, and you need 1 1/2-inch T. And you need a 1/2-inch flange. That's for the pipe portion. For the electric portion, you need a socket, and then you need wire. So this is in the lighting section, like by ceiling fans. It's just a lamp cord, but it's exposed at the ends, so you can wire it yourself. So you take your flange, and I've already attached one of the 1/2-inch nipples to the T, and you're going to just screw that in. You want the side of the T that's like the down, I don't know what that would be called, like the base of the T, to be the part that screws into the flange. And don't over tighten this stuff, because trust me, you'll never be able to get it undone. Be prepared to get dirty too. It's okay. And then onto the bottom, you're going to screw the 6-inch pipe. Now, once you get to this point, you're going to want to start inserting the lamp wire, because if you wait till you're finished to install the lamp wire, you will want to kill yourself. So take your lamp wire, and you can kind of screw or twist the edges together a little bit so that it goes through without getting caught. And I mean, it's gonna get caught. So just don't get mad. Just be patient. So once that comes up through the top, you're gonna take your nipple. It's unfortunate. Put that on there. I mean, why can't they call it just like a connector? I'm just gonna call it a connector from now on. So you're gonna put your connector on there. Then you're gonna grab one of your elbows. Is it all body parts? Like, I don't know. And you're gonna put that on there. The elbows are where you can get really irritated with the wire not being willing to bend, which, by the way, is why you do this earlier and not later. You'll like get one that goes through and then the other won't cooperate. It's like having twins. You just don't do what you want at the same time. Okay, so then you screw that on. Okay. Then, so you don't over tighten, but you don't make it too loose. You'll be able to just feel where you want it. Pull this through, and you're gonna go in with your 12-inch. Now again, this could be any length you want, because this is basically the swinging arm. So this could be 6 inches, 12 inches is possibly the longest you'd want to make it. If you wanted to make it longer, you could do a connector here and put another 6 inches or another 2 inches, or, I mean, seriously, like, you could have a whole store, which is a bad idea because I'm now thinking I want a whole store of pipe lights. Okay, so you're going to screw that in. Now you have your next elbow. So as you're building it, you can kind of think, like, wherever this flange is, that's what's attaching to your wall. The flange is attaching to your wall. So right now, it's as though my table, which used to be in a donkey pasture, just saying, is the wall. So we got that baby in there. And then I chose this coupling reducer thing for the end because I think it's cool, but you could put anything you wanted to on that. I mean, you could leave it like that if you wanted. I thought it would even be cool to get like a faucet and put it on the end. I mean, you can do whatever. So I've already attached the connector to the reducing coupler. Stick that through. Oh, what's going on over there? And then screw that in. Okay, so now you have basically your lamp or your light. And this part comes down here, plugs in. This could be longer if you wanted it to. This is just where I need it to be based on where I'm putting this thing. But the cool thing about this, I think, is it rotates. So once you have your light on here, you can put it wherever you need it. If you want a reading lamp, or if you just want to get it totally out of the way, or if you're just looking for ambient lighting or whatever. Now, the real fun comes when it's time to wire this baby, because people get really nervous, but it's the easiest thing in the whole wide world. So you've bought this light socket. It looks like it's one piece. It's not. There's a little tiny screw right up here at the top, and you just want to screw that in, not all the way, but enough that this little part can fit up inside here comfortably, because it just looks better. So what you do is you unscrew it. It's actually 3 pieces. So top, middle, bottom. In order to wire this thing, you've got this, you got these wires. So these are going to be split, and you pull them apart a little bit, and I like to tie them in a knot so that they don't go back through the light when you're done. And then the first thing you're going to do is take the top, which has the screw on that little nub thing, I don't know, and you're going to thread these down through here. And that's why the knot comes in. So I did that a little prematurely, like you might want to do that after you put that through. It's good times. And that's why, so it doesn't go back up through there. All right, so you stick that thing in there, and then you tie a knot. Okay, now you got to wire this. So you have 2 screws on this thing. Each one of these has to connect to one of these screws. It matters not what connects to what. You just go with it. So you're going to unscrew one of the screws a little bit, enough that you can slide this metal part in between the edge of the screw. You don't have to wrap it around or anything. It just has to make contact between the screw and the metal underneath the screw. So screw the screw down. It's like such unfortunate lingo. Okay, and then do the same with the other. And if you get to the point where you plug in your light and you turn it on and it doesn't work, in all likelihood, this is the part that's not right. So you'll just want to take this out and try it again. Something's just not connected, but make sure you unplug it from the wall, please, before you do that. Okay, so stick this back up in here. And then you're going to pull this back up through. And your, whatever you call this, fits back up in that slot. And then you're going to screw on the bottom. And now you have a wired light into which you can put your, and I like these, and I just get them at the home improvement store. You can also order them online, and they're all different shapes and sizes. But I like the long ones because they look cool. You can get ones that just look like this one gets bigger at the bottom. You can get ones that are just straight, and they're all kinds of cool. Just look up vintage bulbs, or Google vintage bulbs, and you just screw that in. And this is really cool because when they light up, all the filaments show up, and it just looks cool. You know, so like I would never use a shade with this, a lamp shade, because the whole reason you're using this cool bulb is because then you can see the cool bulb. So you could put this on a dimmer, you could put it on a 3-way switch, you can plug, I just plug this end into a dimmer switch in my outlet so that I can operate it on a dimmer switch, and it's fantastic. So that's how you do it, and then you go wash your hands. Make sure that you drill into studs. So when I do this, I'll rotate this so that my holes are in line, and I'll make sure at least one side is in a stud. If you're not in a stud, like if you're over your bed and you want it in a very specific position and there's no stud, make sure you use 4 wall anchors to hold it. It's actually not that heavy, but you definitely want to be either in a stud or wall anchors. So that's that. Karen,
What?
we need you in front of the camera, not behind it. Okay, hold on.
Where are we going, Liz?
Huh? Ew. Okay.
You gotta take a picture of this perfect looking thing.
It's nice. You did a good
You guys
job.
need help with?
People are singing. Everyone in here is happy. That's the other reason I like being here. It's a happy environment to be in. People are singing. There's a guy singing Bonnie Raitt. Give me something to talk about. You know? Have I had this with me the whole time?
I don't know.
So,
Now you got me curious.
I know, it's bad. Just carry on. Just carry on. So, in a brushed, it's not brushed, an oiled black dark finish, which is great. It's technically called a pipe nipple. Don't say a word, Karen. Not a word. So, isn't that what that exists, right? I don't call anything by their right name. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it is a flange. I was right. I don't feel like that's appropriate. I'm so sorry.
I begin to think of all the other places I could be.